Welcome everybody to another video on CSS Grid. Today we are going to explore the concept of ordering and how ordering and placing relates to each other. So I have here my grid, which is half responsive. So it just creates as many columns as it can, depending on the width of my screen. And I am going to create a new type of divs. So in my case, this is going to be squares, and I'm going to save this. And you see there is like a hole here. So I'm going to go here and create a new rule here. And this one is going to be square. And the background color is actually going to be violet. Sure, makes sense. So you see here, my square is here. In this case, what you can do is if you want all of your teal squares to be at the beginning of your grid, you can use order. By default, the order is 0, and if two elements have the same order, then it is the sequence in which the HTML is defined that defines the order. But I can go here and say I want all of my teal squares to go at the beginning. So I just save this, and you see now all of my horizontal that are in teal are going to the beginning. Here, the other ones are still in the same order. So vertical, vertical, square, vertical, vertical, and vertical. But you can do just the same here and use order and say order for this one is going to be 2. So they're going to be pushed at the end of the grid. And you see my square is actually pushed at the beginning. Now what you need to understand is, for instance, here I'm going to give it an order of 4. So this one is going to be at the end because it's bigger than the other ones. But if you happen to have ordered elements, this is trumped by explicit placement. So if I go here and I say grid columns, for instance, this is 1 span 3. If I say something like this, you'll see it is going at the bottom because it tries to take 3 spaces in the same row, and there's no spaces here. So it goes to the next line. But if I define grid rows, grid row, sorry, and I say I want it to be on the first row and it's going to span 2. Even though, and of course I need to also remove the height limit here and say this is automatic, yes. Even though it's ordered to be at the end of the grid, because it is placed, this takes precedence over order. So you can place all of the elements that you want. So for instance, you want like a big first image, and you want later on to just like place all of your more important tiles at the beginning than your less important tiles at the end. And that is how orders and placement relate to each other. In the next video, I'm going to actually build those vertical squares and horizontal images, and you'll see what you can do with it, and you can just like load up images in it and you'll be all set. I hope to see you there. Cheers!